a name like Nvidia, for example, a lot of the guests come on here and say, I like Nvidia because it's really its own ecosystem. Is that something you agree with? I mean, what do you think about competitive moats when you think about some of these names? Does Nvidia have a competitive moat, and what other ones?
Yeah, I mean, there is no AI without Nvidia, and I think that right now everyone is confused. The narrative is following the price action. Nvidia has been stuck in mud for 6 months, but their execution has been flawless continuously the past couple of years, and it's going to continue the next couple of years as well. I think right now for Nvidia, it's just the bottleneck keeps moving, so the attention keeps moving away from who the king of AI still is. And I think that right now, the big four is still just as strong as they were two or 3 years ago. I'm talking Broadcom, I'm talking TSMC, Nvidia, ASML, but I think the attention span for a lot of these investors are now like, what's the next bottleneck? So all the attention is going elsewhere. But really, if you zoom out and look at the end of the day, Nvidia is trading at a market multiple. That is egregious. It should never be trading at anywhere close to what the S&P is trading at, because the amount of pricing power that they have is under talked about, because every stage of AI, every graduation is going to become from generative AI to agentic AI to physical AI to orbital computes. Like, Nvidia will be the king of each stage. So the pricing power they have right now will continue. And right now as well, like, we're in a systems race. There's no more AI accelerator race. And that's going to benefit Nvidia because their Grok acquisition recently just showed they will be owning the inference era as well. So I would not doubt out Jensen. And I think right now just the attention will revert back to Nvidia once the bottlenecks re-rate a bit. And I think that Nvidia is probably going to be the first $10 trillion company before the cycle's over.
As the chipmaker's recent rally gained speed, Nvidia's shares continued to rise, increasing almost 1.2% on Friday to return above the $200 barrier. Over the last 30 days, the stock has increased by around 10%, rising from lows around $175 and getting closer to its all-time closing high of $207.04, which was hit in late October. Nvidia has had difficulty continuously holding above the $200 mark, which is still a crucial benchmark for investors, despite the substantial gain. Nvidia's performance has fallen short of several rivals in the semiconductor industry, despite recent improvements. Over the previous month, Advanced Micro Devices stock has increased by about 41%, while Intel's has increased by almost 60%. In contrast to Nvidia's emphasis on graphics processing units, GPUs, the increased interest in central processing units, CPUs, utilized in AI servers has contributed to the divide. Analysts contend that investors shouldn't be put off by Nvidia's comparatively poor performance. Rick Schaefer, an analyst at Oppenheimer, maintained more neutral opinions about AMD and Intel, while reiterating an outperform rating for Nvidia with a $265 price target. According to Schaefer, Nvidia's best-in-class Blackwell Ultra, GB300, NVL racks dominate the market by 2 generations. The AI castle on a hill has the best inference and training performance per watt. According to him, Nvidia is presently trading at about 17 times his estimated 2027 earnings, which is less than the norm of about 20 times for the semiconductor industry, indicating relative valuation support. Bernstein's analysts remained optimistic as well, restating a buy rating with a $300 price target. The company, led by David Dye, showcased Nvidia's future Vera Rubin platform, which is anticipated to start delivering in the second half of 2026. In comparison to existing models, Bernstein predicted that the platform would provide 5 times more inference performance and 3.5 times more training performance, calling it a monster. The company pointed out that only 1.6 times more transistors are needed to accomplish these performance enhancements, demonstrating increases in design efficiency. Valuation is regarded as appealing. Analysts contend that Nvidia's valuation is still quite appealing, considering its growth track, despite the stock's recent surge. According to Bernstein, the stock's price-to-earnings growth, PEG ratio, of 0.77 indicates that the share price may not have accurately reflected the anticipated rise in earnings. According to the firm's very plausible prediction, Nvidia may make more than $12 per share by 2027. Nvidia is trading at about 15 times its estimated 2027 earnings, which is less than the sector average of about 20 times, according to the research. Although rivals are also making large investments in AI gear, many think Nvidia still has a substantial technological advantage. According to Bernstein, the company's upcoming products ought to cement its dominance in the market for AI chips, leaving a gap that competitors like AMD and Intel would find challenging to close. The company is still a major focus for investors moving into semiconductor earnings season, despite the fact that the stock has not yet established a strong breakthrough over $200. This is due to the ongoing demand for AI chips, impending product cycles, and positive analyst opinions. The monarch of artificial intelligence is stealthily gaining an unbeatable lead as the stock market obsesses over a brief spike from its rivals. Despite AMD and Intel reporting higher percentage rises this month, leading analysts are praising Nvidia as the unchallenged king of the semiconductor industry. Experts contend that Nvidia is the only sensible top choice for the forthcoming earnings season due to its enormous technological moats, even though it is lagging behind the recent CPU frenzy. Wall Street is starting to see the green team's enormous structural edge over the short-term noise of competitor stock rises. In an intriguing defense of the business, Oppenheimer analyst Rick Schaefer recently rated it as outperform and set a huge $265 price objective. The company has the best performance per watt for both training and inference in the world, according to his renowned description of it as a AI castle on a hill. Despite the fact that the stocks of AMD and Intel have increased by 38% and 56% respectively in the past month, Schaefer continues to rate both companies as perform, indicating that their runs may be overextended. Because they lead the market by 2 generations and provide a level of power that no one else can currently match, he thinks that Nvidia's impending Blackwell Ultra, GB300 NVL racks are the key to its future. Blackwell Ultra racks from Nvidia break efficiency records. The specifications of the next generation of AI infrastructure, which will soon be installed on data center floors, are sufficient to cause rivals to reconsider their whole strategy. The Blackwell Ultra platform from Nvidia is built to easily handle the billion-parameter models of the future. Compared to the previous Hopper generation, these racks are substantially more efficient, resulting in a 50x increase in total AI factory production. For hyperscalers like Google and Meta that are battling energy constraints, the GB300 architecture's use of sophisticated liquid cooling can cut electricity costs by up to 40%. Nvidia is currently trading at just 17 times its projected 2027 earnings, which is less than the industry average of 20. This indicates to investors that the most powerful chip business in the world is now offering at a lower price than its slower competitors. Excitement over the need for new core processors and AI servers has contributed significantly to the recent spike in AMD and Intel stock, although analysts caution that this could be a distraction. Although Intel recently had its best 9-day run ever, many analysts think the stock surged too far too fast due to sheer conjecture. Furthermore, although AMD's Instinct MI355X has garnered some popularity among budget-conscious consumers, it still lacks the full-stack platform, which includes CUDA software and NVLink networking, that generates the high switching costs that Nvidia enjoys. Nvidia's yearly development cycle makes it practically impossible for anyone to close the gap, since the company's Rubin architecture is already scheduled for late 2026. Is Nvidia a good investment right now? Based on 41 buys, 1 hold, and 1 sell rating over the previous 3 months, Wall Street analysts have a strong buy consensus rating on Nvidia stock. Additionally, 37.9% upside potential is shown by Nvidia's average 12-month price objective of $273.57 per share. Last year, Nvidia accomplished a significant milestone. The market capitalization of the massive artificial intelligence AI semiconductor company surged above $4 trillion. When it accomplished this, it became the largest company in the world and the first to ever reach that level. Nvidia overtook Apple and Microsoft, 2 computing behemoths that have recently held the top spot in terms of market capitalization. Nvidia has maintained this dominance despite a poor start to the year. This is due to the fact that its large tech competitors and peers also had difficulty in the challenging market conditions. Growth equities, especially AI companies, were shunned by investors due to broad concerns, such as anxieties about the crisis in Iran and doubts about whether the AI story would be as successful as anticipated. But as the second quarter gets underway, things appear to be going more smoothly for tech players. They have recovered amid hope that officials will start talks over the Iranian war again. Additionally, investors are paying attention to impending earnings reports, which could boost some tech companies. Therefore, this is a fantastic opportunity to think about Nvidia's possible future market capitalization as the firm starts to rise once more. Nvidia's market valuation may potentially rise to an astonishingly high level, according to one indicator, but is this truly feasible? Let's investigate. Let's start by examining Nvidia's rise to $4 trillion and its future possibilities. The company is the world's top designer of AI chips, and in recent years, this business has contributed to revenue growth in the double and triple digits. The company's gross margin of over 70% indicates that sales profitability has also been strong. Instead of sticking to only processors, Nvidia has expanded its product line to cover entire systems, including networking hardware and business software. Nvidia has grown into an AI behemoth with a commitment to modernize its technology and a preference for collaborations to bolster its market position. Since top-performing processors are required to fuel the usage of AI, earnings gains may be far from over. In fact, this should mark a new era of growth for Nvidia. Nvidia's revenue is expected to increase by more than 72% year over year to over $370 billion in the current fiscal year, according to the average analyst estimate. Investors have been speculating about how high Nvidia's market value might rise in light of all of this. Analysts have indicated levels like $5 trillion or $7 trillion, which could be reached in the upcoming years. However, one analyst just raised the bar for predictions. According to UBS analyst John Talbot, the company's own Holt valuation model indicates that Nvidia's stock price should be 400% higher, resulting in a staggering $22 trillion market value. Cash flow return on investment, CFROI, which takes into account a company's returns on its investments over a one-year period, is the foundation of the Holt approach. CFROI calculates returns while accounting for inflation and the cost of capital. According to the Holt model, Nvidia has a CFROI of 73%, which is higher than the average of 6% for non-financial companies. Crucially, Nvidia is also ahead of the curve in terms of return fade, or the decline in returns as industry rivalry rises. This isn't happening with Nvidia. All of this indicates that Nvidia should be valued at $22 trillion using the UBS Holt approach. The question now is this actually feasible? It is quite doubtful that Nvidia will achieve this level anytime soon, because to one important fact, currently, the S&P 500 has a total market value of over $64 trillion. Nvidia would account for more than one-third of the entire index if it were to hit $22 trillion. On its own, that notion suggests that a rise to this extent is unlikely. Nevertheless, the Holt model does reveal something quite useful. Nvidia's investments are paying off, and business is not being negatively impacted by competition. In the meantime, a traditional valuation technique indicates that Nvidia stock still has a lot of space to grow, even if it doesn't rise 400% in the near future. Given Nvidia's market position and future prospects, the company is currently priced for just 23x projected earnings forecasts, which is a value. All of this suggests that while the AI boom continues, Nvidia may continue to hit thrilling market capitalization benchmarks. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
Action that we're seeing. Are the chip stocks still running the show, and which way are they headed in your opinion?
So the chip stocks, they're really indicating to me that AI demand is no longer experimental, it's industrial. And we're seeing investments increasingly focus on advanced packaging and leading edge capacity, which is telling us that the bottleneck isn't AI models, it's infrastructure execution. So this reinforces that the companies controlling compute manufacturing are becoming as strategically important as the companies that are building the models themselves.
I mean, we continue to see everything AI every single day. It's another AI deal every day of the week. And if it's not a deal, we hear something. Taiwan Semi so bullish, more bullish than ever before. Moments ago, I was here on the floor and Galaxy Corp, from Asia was here with their robot that was dancing, that dances with K-pop. I mean, when I tell you, you wouldn't believe it if you saw this video that I took just moments ago. And it's run with AI and robotics. It's unbelievable. Shai Balur, I mean, what do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, I think every 3 months we get reminded how early we still are in this AI infrastructure cycle. I think the cleanest way of talking about it is the first wave is obviously about GPUs the first couple of years, but now this new phase is all about the whole factory around them. So when I say that, I mean the foundries, the packaging, the networking, memory, CPUs, etc. So because the breadth is widening out a bit, the bottlenecks are also moving, and that's proving that there is a lot of durability in this AI cycle that isn't just a couple big winners. That's actually dozens now. And I do think that AI has been graduating as well as a rapid pace. Like this year is all about agents. And because of that, CPUs are now becoming the next cool thing again. Memory is going to become a huge component as well. And there's also so many different elements and layers of the CPU ecosystem that it feels like the cycle is nowhere close to cooling off. And again, we got reminded this week from ASML and TSMC that we are still early and demand is exceeding supply.
All right. And, I think about this, and I know you were looking at the health of these companies, Stephanie, and just the layers of AI infrastructure that are needed. When you look at some of these names on the board from this group, are some better positioned than others?
I think that I definitely think TSMC is really well positioned. Although I do think we're seeing the divergence between AI-driven demand and more traditional semiconductor recovery cycles. So AI infrastructure appears to be accelerating independently, which reinforces the idea that AI compute is becoming a distinct economic category rather than just another semiconductor workload. So the signal here is sort of this uneven growth, but strategically concentrated growth. And from an AI perspective, the companies closest to enabling production AI systems, especially those supporting these inference heavy and agentic workloads, they're becoming really foundational to AI enterprise progress.